Alright, YouTube, so there's this really special piece of shit named Michelle Goldberg. She's a New York Times opinion columnist, and she came out with an op-ed on October 29th, 2018 titled, "We Can Replace Them." And the subheading is titled, "In Georgia, we have a chance to rebuke white nationalism." Michelle Goldberg is, you can tell by her name, she's Jewish. She doesn't consider herself to be white, even though that's kind of where her people came from, Eastern Europe. They didn't come from the Jordan. They did not. That's a fake Jew, Ashkenazi Jew, generally speaking. It's even beyond that. It's basically beyond, well, we're not even practicing Jews, but we're Jewish, so, respect my Judaism or whatever. So they can get away with saying shit like this. They can get away with saying, oh, we can replace white people and all this. And this is really what they mean. They like to throw all these people into one basket. They say people that have white pride are automatically white nationalists. And like it's not okay to be white. You can't have any kind of white pride. Essentially bow down to your brown mocha-colored master and just let bygones be bygones, I guess. And this is a fairly long op-ed. And I believe just reading this would probably kind of fuck with my head and make me think like, oh, maybe she's on to something. Maybe she is, This is the same lady who came out and said, Trump isn't the leader of the free world, as if Obama was the leader of the free world because of his skin color, because of his rhetoric, because he was a communist essentially. And we're kind of seeing this. We're seeing this attitude come from columnists like Michelle Goldberg. You're seeing it come from news anchors like Don Lemon saying that white men are the #1 terrorist threat to the United States. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, they get away with this. They could essentially get away with this by hiding behind their own skin color. The absolute definition of racism. Absolutely. And Don Lemon is married. His husband's white, and he lives in an all-white neighborhood. It's just insanity. It really, I don't know. So they're trying to prop up people like Kamala Harris, Stacey Abrams, Beto O'Rourke. Beto O'Rourke's an Irishman. Let's not let details get in the way of anything. But yeah, and then she starts to talk about the Tree of Life synagogue shooting. And this is kind of like a little cognitive dissonance I need to kind of let people know about Donald Trump and his so-called anti-Semitism. Trump is such an anti-Semite that, his daughter Ivanka converted to Judaism. Jared Kushner is an Orthodox Jew. His grandchildren are Jewish. So, yeah, total fucking anti-Semite, absolutely. Not to mention that he's an unabashed Zionist, which I don't care about. I really don't care about. That's his business. He's got some family interest there, so it is what it is. But just reading through some of this stuff, it's like Donald Trump is not an anti-Semite. He's actually quite the opposite. In fact, he's so anti-Semitic, he came out and he was like, look, let's bring back the death penalty. Let's bring back the death penalty for this guy who comes in and thinks he can shoot up my fellow Jews, that shit. And I don't know. I have to shake these people. It's like, wake up, folks. He's not an anti-Semite. He's got a lot of Jewish people that actually like Trump because of his Zionism. It's not really a secret at this point. So they use this. They say, oh, he's anti-Semite, thus his supporters must be anti-Semitic people. And I had dinner with a very nice couple, a very nice, lovely couple who I've known for many years. And they say this with a straight face. They say the approval rating of Donald Trump is actually indicative of the amount of racists that are in the country. This is the kind of bullshit that they're trying to buy into, and believe it or not, a lot of the people that are parroting these talking points are white people, are fucking white people. And they've been completely hypnotized into thinking that, oh, because of my skin color, I have to feel bad about my skin color, I have to bow down to my brown master, this kind of bullshit. And this is kind of the whole mindset that you got with Obama. This is the reason why a lot of people were upset that a white man became president. Because they were essentially in their little lull of brown worship or whatever. Look, it's just, to each their own, I get it, but don't recoil when I express my disgust with your viewpoints, really. It's just disgusting, and it's not even like this is transcending. This is transcending from rhetoric into actual legislation. You know, they have all these things that are set up. Like one of the biggest examples of discrimination that I can think of is affirmative action. It's a racist policy. It's essentially propping up one group of people that, you know, whether they deserve it or not, that's up for debate, but it's essentially a racist policy, and it affects the Asians, it affects the whites, the Caucasians, and you're seeing this with Harvard. You know, essentially they're discriminating against said groups, all propping up African Americans. You know, just total bullshit. So, anyways, reading through here. Yeah, just Michelle Goldberg coming out and just preaching about how the Democrats are like, you know, the party of liberation of, you know, racial oppression. It's like, hang on a second, got to look at late 1800s. You might be wrong there, Michelle. You know, Democrats were the original racists. They created the KKK. They were the ones to introduce gun control in the form of Jim Crow laws. Like, oh yeah, we got to keep those Negroes from bearing arms, or else they'll come shoot us. You know, for what it's worth, they had every right to be angry. You know, you get a bunch of fucking people, you know, treating them like slaves, you're going to be a little pissed off, I would think. So that's the reason why they wanted to take all the guns away, because they literally thought that the Negro, is what they said, that the Negro was going to overpower them, you know. Just like this really, like, you know, tribalist mindset, I guess, you know. Whether there's any validity to that, I'll leave to my viewers, you know. I'm a little indifferent about it. But anyways, yeah, just reading. Okay, so here's a line here. Kemp is the candidate of aggrieved whiteness. During the primary, he ran an ad boasting that he drives a big truck just in case I need to round up criminal illegals and take them home myself. And she puts in parentheses, that would be kidnapping. It's like, take a fucking joke, lady, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, Michelle Goldberg, she's a special type of piece of shit. And it's really sad because I actually have people within my own family that really fawn over her columns, like, oh, she's you know, obviously a very progressive voice. You know, she's talking about the white problem that we don't want to talk about, but others can, and then it becomes rhetoric, and then it becomes acceptable rhetoric. People are like, yeah, you know, white's not right. Like literally, this very nice couple that I've known for many years, they sat down and just said out of nowhere, you know, well, just remember, white isn't right. It's coming from a white man, you know, somebody who's whiter than me. I couldn't stand there and take it. I was like, yeah, like I made a joke about how I pretend to be Jewish, so I'm not discriminated against. It was just trying to, like, doing the Sam Hyde method, being like, you know, take what they're saying and double it, and just to the point where it's totally absurd, you know, just to kind of let them hear what they're saying, you know. So that was a pretty good take. I'm going to end it on that, but it's just propaganda. It just literally is propaganda coming from Michelle Goldberg and other people like her, who are going to hide behind her Judaism, you know, even though she's a very secular person, you know, secular to the point where there's no such thing as like a spiritual being, just government is God, that kind of Marxist bullshit. And it's this Marxist mindset, like let's flush out the white, you know, let's flood it with brown, you know, let's undilute the genetic pool. It's Nazi euthogenics. Let's not let's not mince words here. Anyways. I had a great deal of fun reading this article because just some of the absurdity that I'm picking up from her, and it's bullshit too. A lot of people actually believe this bullshit here in Sandhurst. I just say to my fellow white man, and I don't know if I can say this. I don't know if I'm full white. You know, I'm kind of on the fence. I'm like I'm a little bit of everything. But you know what? Honestly, to my fellow white man, stop feeling sorry for yourself. There's nothing wrong with being white. It's okay. It's okay to be white. First of all, it's in my opinion, it's okay to be white. I have no problems with people being white. It's okay to be anything else you want. And that's all I gotta say. You know, in just my own personal opinion, like white men, white women are the best looking people on earth. White women especially. There's a reason why white women are fawned on by, you know, the Africans and the Latinos. There's a fucking reason, guys. And there's a reason why white culture is superior to others. They invented pretty much everything. I mean, that's one thing to be kind of grateful for. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I'm probably going to get flagged for racism here, but I don't give a shit. It's all about free speech on my channel. So God bless, guys, and I will see y'all later. Peace out.